So, what is the best way to approach design and mechanics for a beginner? Let's take these example mechanics as a base. How do you get them out of nothing? Well, for training purposes, it will be best to start with reverse engineering design of existing games. Take your favorite game, choose a system, be it movement or combat or whatever you want, and try to write down everything you can in the form of mechanics design. Repeat several times with different games until you get a hang of writing detailed mechanics based on something existing. Then, when you move on to creating something new, the process would heavily involve imagination. You have to try and view in your head how the systems of an inexistent game would work, and sort of reverse engineer it from within your head. At first, this might take some effort, but with practice, this process would come naturally, subconsciously even. However, in your head, everything always looks and works so good. It's really improbable to transform that into actually well-done mechanics from the first try. Therefore, there are several important things to remember. First, never create mechanics with concrete numbers in mind. You can't really know what will feel good until you try it out. So always make sure to account for variables. In the examples we used before, everything that is in brackets is a variable. From what I have seen in my career, brackets are a fairly standard way to define what should be exposed variables for tuning, though the format may differ depending on the company. And of course, you can make assumptions and put those in brackets, but this still means that any number can potentially change after you try it out. Then, it is important to not over-design things, especially in the early stages of the project. Let's put it this way. If you create 100 pages of design and only then start implementing it, you will find that 95 of those pages are useless and have to be changed. So start from the basics, the core things, then implement that into your prototype, see what has to be changed, do that, and start adding more details in the design only once it's safe to. However, when it comes to iteration, it is really useless to change the paper design until things are more stabilized. Here's a mistake many beginners make. They create a design, implement it, see what has to be changed, change the design, implement the changes, see again how it works, update the design, implement it, etc. until the design is eventually stabilized. There are a lot of extra steps going on here, mainly the design updates. Once the first version of the design is in and you have to iterate on it, just do that in the build. Update the design only once you reach a more or less stable iteration. I'm saying more or less because most likely there will be changes again, but the point is to minimize the amount of time you spend updating words on paper, since what's in the game is actually what matters more. And note, on actual projects, game design never starts with this level of detail from the get-go, but we're going through this first to form the core of your design skill set. So to sum up, first take your favorite games and reverse engineer as many mechanics as you can from there. Then, based on your experience doing that, try to design something totally new, but don't over-design it. And lastly, try to implement it and do some iterations in any engine of your choice, there are some that don't require coding skills if that matters, to get a feel for the iterative process. And of course, don't hard code, so to speak, variables into the design. If you have any examples of this work that you'd like to share, feel free to do so in the comments below, on Twitter, or on the Patreon Discord server. I will always be happy to provide feedback.